Coming to America, man. Written by the original writers and Kenyon Bears. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
From Grownish and Blackish and all the issues.
Okay, I can see that.
All the issues.
Yeah, all the issues. So, man, just to start off, how do you guys feel he did tying a sequel in?
I thought it was clever and funny. Taking it back to the day where they was at the bar and shit like that.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Looked like they may have used some like behind the scenes or shots they didn't use from the original type footage.
What?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
think
they
so?
did.
Yeah, I
they
think so.
absolutely did.
Because
Really?
the camera, it looked like old footage. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do an effect, but
No,
I mean, for the most part, I don't know.
they did both.
They did both, the
Yeah, they
new
did both.
and old footage. So I thought it was great.
well, the stuff with Leslie Jones, yeah, but the stuff with Akeem sitting there by herself, I could see that just being something that they just.
Okay, you're right. Stuff like that, it could have been like a deleted scene or something. That
No, that was him.
No, I'm just
No,
saying,
no.
but we probably didn't see that in the original version.
Yeah, it's probably something that was left on the
Nah,
cover.
he mentioned they used their face technology.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I looked a little ashy.
I'm pretty sure they used it at plenty of times, but there were a couple things where I was like, that looked like it was probably, some old footage.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you feel he tied it in?
They definitely tied it in. Whether it was good or bad, I don't want to say.
Man, look, the way they tied it in sucks.
There
Okay,
we go.
I'll go ahead and say it. It makes absolutely no sense because we saw him leave the club and then he runs into the dude from Mighty shop right after.
Right after complaining.
Right after, and says there's no good girls in this city.
Yeah.
And he was not intoxicated. And then he went straight to the event that had Lisa there.
Hey man,
Went straight. I went back and watched it too.
He went straight there. And then he must have went straight to bed because then they woke up the next day to go for an interview at McDowell.
They've had harsher retcons than this one. Okay.
No.
That shit sucked.
It sucked. It should have been like
It
that Keisha
sucked.
Cole song, I Should Have Cheated. He should have cheated. He should have cheated.
Yeah, they could have had some. He had a fling left. I get it. You don't want to make him look bad, but then it would have made sense. After he went to sow his royals right after he married Lisa, and we didn't know about it. But the way they tried to tie it in, it made absolutely no sense.
It was bad.
Zero. Now that we got that out
It
of the
was
way.
funny though.
Now that we
Where?
Yeah, where? Where?
Oh,
But now that
gosh.
we got that out of the way, we could actually talk about the movie now. So, Eddie is Prince Akeem. Well, first of all, it was cool seeing Gabrielle because she was one of the first original cast members we saw. The flower girl. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. It's Gabrielle something.
I just call her Fancy.
Yeah,
I'm
Fancy.
sorry.
Fancy Pants.
Yeah,
from
Fancy.
Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was one of the first people we see, and then we see Oma, right?
Yes.
Oa,
Yes.
and I was just like, oh shit. It was like as you saw people that you've seen already, it was refreshing, right?
It really was.
So to see Eddie and Lisa or Hakeem and Lisa jump up from the bed, it was just like, and the daughters kind of came downstairs, and I knew Eddie's daughter had actually been cast as the middle-aged daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
okay.
Eddie Murphy's daughter.
Oh, shout out.
The one with the glasses, and she had the balls all
Yeah.
the way down her back. Yeah,
Okay.
that was his real daughter.
Okay.
But yeah, man, just so seeing all of that, and I can't 100% remember exactly what it went to next, but that fight scene with the three girls was really good.
Yeah, I think after that it went to that scene.
Yeah.
So
I
thought
feel like
about
that's
that.
what it was,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed that whole scene, and it really looked like the oldest daughter was really doing that.
Oh yeah, she was in that movie, The Old Guard, and she had a lot of fight scenes. So I know she about
okay.
that life. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah, so then we get Simi, and we saw Simi, and I was just like,
Semi-automatic.
and I thought he was gonna say it right there, but he didn't say it till later. Like, you sweat from a baboon's balls.
Oh, he did say that.
He said it,
Yeah, he said it.
but he ain't say it right there.
Yeah.
So there was a whole bunch of those moments where you got kind of like nostalgia from like older lines and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we see him go see his dad, And his dad basically tells him about the illegitimate son, the bastard of New York.
They did say that a lot.
Yeah, I was just like,
They
damn.
said that a lot.
Made it sound like bastard wasn't such a bad word.
Especially that old, was it an old woman?
No, that was Arsenio Hall.
Oh, spitting on the floor and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
What's her name? Baba?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Baba? Arsenio Hall is a fool.
He really
Yeah,
is.
funny.
Man.
He was
He is.
hilarious in this whole movie, especially him and Tracy Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't steal the show, but yeah, he did a good job. He did a good job.
So he finds out about his illegitimate son,
Right.
and then they have a funeral for his dad. Now, at first, I was weak because I was just like, man, this guy said, let's have a funeral while I'm here. It better be grand. It better be dope. They had In Vogue come out. I was just like, what? And Salt and Pepper came out, and I immediately got salty.
There we go.
Because I was just like, y'all really going to do this without Spinderella? Y'all really on bad terms
Right
with
there, I was
Spinderella?
just like, ooh. They actually did that. I was just like, okay, I'm Vogue was enough.
And it didn't feel like In Vogue. It didn't feel like Salt and Pepper were important because the way they were performing the song, it didn't sound live or nothing. It sounded like it was
they didn't
straight
look
from
like
the
they
record.
care.
Yeah,
It was just like, yo, we here.
exactly.
I didn't think that was needed. And then to be honest, and then Salt and Pepper, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. There we go.
And then who was after Salt and Pepper that came in?
Gladys
Gladys
Knight.
Knight.
Gladys
Yeah.
Knight came.
That kind of made sense.
Now
to
that
me.
was sad.
Yeah.
Because that's when he really just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at first I thought he was joking, and I was just
Me
like,
too.
oh,
But that was real.
yeah, this is really how King Jeffrey Joffer is going out. Okay.
But I like the fact that he was just like, yo, I want to have a celebration. And, you know, they brought Morgan Freeman in there and everything like that. I thought
Yeah,
that
the
They
was
Morgan
did
Freeman
have
thing
Morgan.
was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
But the
funny.
behind the scenes was even funny.
Yeah.
They should have used that cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like, people stop fucking. Oh, he's like, hold on, that's not the line. What am I supposed to
He said that.
But
He was
I
in
actually
pain, too.
skipped the part. So while Eddie was heading to see his dad, we had Wesley Snipes
Oh,
and them
my God.
roll up
Now that was funny.
in the joint.
Michael Blackson.
And Michael Blackson's introduction.
That was funny.
Oh, my God.
That
was great.
yo, man, Wesley Snipes. Is he a comedian?
No, but
'Cause,
you would have thought he was.
man.
He was acting like Bang Bang Boomerang.
right.
The way he was like walking to
Interest,
the side.
man. He owned every moment of that role, man. I loved it.
He looked, and there was a couple times you caught him smiling.
Yeah.
Like he was like, yo, this shit is so fun.
He had a grand time.
He killed every scene, man. Their chemistry.
Yeah.
Those two chemistry is
Yeah.
Are you
just,
talking about Eddie and Wesley?
Yeah.
because we saw it in the last movie they played in Dolomite,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Beautiful chemistry. And boy, Wesley Snipes, man. Good stuff, bro. Shout out, man.
Yeah, his accent had me weak. But then Rotimi came in.
Oh my God.
Oh, when he switched the hair back?
I was weak. I was so weak when he came in. Just his swag. And oh my God. I was a Rotimi a fool, bro.
And I understood that scene because it was like, that was like I wouldn't say the bad side, but, you know, I'm thinking that's like if Scar, and you know what I'm saying, had a crew they was bringing the, you know what I'm saying, bring the hyenas by and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is actually hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Eddie's like, no, this is not happening. Yeah.
Just to jump ahead on Wesley Snipes and his crew, when they showed them training, and I
Dance
saw the
DDR?
dance,
Oh, you saw the
dance revolution.
We was gone. We was
Yo,
gone.
they hit that.
We was gone, man. I
Yo,
was
they
just like-
killed it. They killed that scene.
Wesley Snipes and his crew. Damn
and
near
then
the
Rick
best
Ross
part of
with
the
his
movie.
cameo.
Yeah, Rick Ross.
It
with
didn't
his-
work.
His cameo.
worked,
I mean,
it
they
worked.
used his house, so they got a cameo on that. That was a nice house, Ross.
Yeah, shout out, man.
So Eddie goes to America. We see his son for the first time.
You know the first thing I thought about?
What?
You smell good. What's that? Remember, Sorry to Bother You?
Yeah.
I thought about that whole exchange. You know, did you see that movie?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Remember when they
When they were arguing
When
and
they
they
was
were
arguing?
complimenting each other.
That's him?
That's the same guy.
Yeah.
I knew he was somewhere.
I thought about that scene as soon as I saw him. I was just like, oh man, you smell good.
That's right.
He said that he had a good relationship with Eddie before he even auditioned for the movie.
Oh,
Makes
word?
sense.
So-
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so he's like, I was hanging out at Eddie's house, and he told me, hey, the movie coming up, go audition for it. Like, word.
Dope.
So, but yeah, so we see him, and I love the whole him being at a job interview. Tracy Morgan, don't use the white voice. Present. And just the way he told him off in the office.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was proud. I was happy for him.
You didn't like that moment?
It was corny, man.
Why was it corny?
Nobody's gonna have their uncle in a job interview like that. Like that was just a little much. Like if Donald Glover wrote that, he would never write a scene like that.
Probably not.
He would never write a scene.
But
like
we talking about Kenya Barris. We ain't talking about Donald Glover.
It was just too easy. Like that was just too easy of a situation. Don't use your white voice. Hey, how you doing? Like it felt a little cringy, and it might be.
It could be a little bit harsh.
I don't know how else they could have pulled off that scene the way they did. I mean, they could have just had Tracy Morgan's character not there and just kind of been in his head
and talk to him, and then when he gets to the interview, then he just
or maybe he was on the phone and talked to him.
Something, you know what I'm saying? But being right there at a job interview, like while you right there, I don't know.
Support.
So he don't get the job. He goes and is selling tickets in front of Madison Square Garden. So we see Eddie, he's in he goes back to Mighty Sharp. And
I like that.
The exchanges that went back and forth were pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Eddie dress up like everybody again. It was really funny when they kicked the dude out of the chair claiming he went too far.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, really?
Yeah.
That's what was too far? But so he goes and he meets his son. He even put on the old jacket that he had in the first movie.
Yeah.
His stomach was bulging a lot.
It was.
I was just like, damn, Eddie, are you ready to do Beverly Hills Cop 4?
It was bulging.
You sure?
Right.
But so he goes and he talks to he takes him home, talks to what's her name?
Mary.
Oh, that's the character's name.
Yeah. Leslie?
Yeah,
Her name's Mary.
Mary.
Like the virgin.
Yeah,
But she
you're
wasn't
right.
virgin.
Oh, like the virgin. Okay.
She was a hoe out here in these streets. That was hilarious. That exchange, like, well, I was out here in these streets, right? But yeah, he takes him home to see Mary, and it's like they're like, nah, man, we don't need you. And then Simi drops the damn case open, and there's gold bars, a whole bunch of money. Everybody pretty much changed their mind on the spot.
What you hate about that?
Bro, everything, man.
What?
The whole family was just conveniently there.
It was
It's his birthday.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. But check this out. So they dropped
Remember,
the money.
she's like, yo, there's only 10 candles. And then she's like, well, split them. She's like, well, that's still only 20. I mean.
To me, it just felt like, from the beginning, I'm like, why is he going to America again? To find his bastard son and everything like that. And then they get there, they find him so easily, right? So it's so easy. Then they go into the house. It's no real conversation as to convince him to go back to Africa other than just dropping some money on the floor.
I mean, we technically didn't see the conversation that happened in the car, but I get what you're saying. But I mean, I still didn't have an issue with it.
It's too fast.
I just thought it was hilarious just because Simi dropped it, and then he looked down and saw them stop talking, like, go on. And then everybody else is just like, oh.
I get what Bang Bang's saying. There was some fast track
really convenient
stuff in this movie, but at the same time, I was just enjoying the idea of it. Not to say like I'm like, trying to cop out, but I just felt like it was a good setup for a sequel that we didn't ask for. We were getting.
I mean, what are you talking? People didn't.
we asked for it.
I mean, but just saying, we really didn't have to get this. So when I put that in, I'm not just trying to make a excuse for it. I get what you're
like
saying.
You are though.
Yeah, I know.
It's not bad though.
I mean,
you act like it was like the most horrible setup.
For 30 years, you had 30 years to come up with a better concept, and this is how you gonna speed through it? My man gonna come to Africa because some money dropped on the floor and some gold bars?
That was just the bait. He didn't have a job.
He was broke.
He was broke. He saw
was
that money
and
he.
I mean, look, it was one of those things where it's just like it happened for plot.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
But I didn't hate this.
Yeah,
I didn't love it either.
I just felt like Eddie coming to America felt like it was something. He was bored. He didn't want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to go through the whole process. He wanted to find his true love, and he wanted to go to America. So we kind of got into his story. He gets to America. You see it. It's like, it's not what he imagined, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going through the struggle. He's mopping floors. He's doing a lot of things that, you know, he was a prince. He never had to do all these things. So we was able to connect with Eddie. We can't connect with this new, you know, with his son.
I think we connect with him the same way he did.
I think
through the story.
But okay. I think, well, if I'm going too far, like I don't think the movie should have been called Coming to America. It should have been called Coming to Zamunda.
But
yes,
but that's besides the point.
But that's just how I feel about it, because I don't really think America was the forefront of this film like the original.
They filmed it in America.
Obviously. Yeah, of course.
Film. It was up the street.
But it should have been called Coming to Zamunda, in my opinion.
But okay, so they get to Zamunda, and he comes clean to Lisa. She spazzes out rightfully. The kids kind of spaz out.
Yeah.
You know, and now it looks like Eddie kind of averted war because now he has a son to take his place. So Wesley Snipes' character isn't going to be so fond to snipe him because it's going to be another male to take over.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we see his daughter doesn't like this idea, which I thought was, you know, you can easily see what was happening.
Yeah, at that point, that's when I was just like, oh, I know where this movie is going.
Well, I knew as soon as they said that she was the oldest and she had been training, and I was just like, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
So I picked it up really early. Yeah. So, you know, they start trying to introduce him into things, and we get him introduced to the family and everything like that. They have a whole ceremony. Wesley Snipes pulls up with his daughter, who's Tiana Taylor, which I thought was dope. The whole dancing and everything.
That was cool.
Oh my gosh. That whole scene was great. I loved it.
That was cool.
The whole song and everything.
Just to backtrack 1 second, when they were coming to America on the plane, I was just like, is that goddamn John Legend singing the damn Coming to America theme?
Yeah.
And I was like, it is. Can we get away from John Legend just for a second? You don't have to. You just don't have to be involved in everything black, okay? I get it. We know.
What?
Because it's like his voice don't sound right. Say, can you? He has that ordinary people voice. He ain't got the Coming to America voice.
There we go. Thank you, man.
I'm just being real. I like John Legend. His last album was fire.
Man.
But I did not need John Legend singing. Now the end singing Queen of Beat, that was dope. But the Coming to America theme, no John Legend for that. We don't need John Legend. We don't need no Trey Songz for that. We don't need no Chris Brown for that.
Trey Songz in there.
You got to have like an 80s guy voice. Like I'm talking about, you know, if you get R. Kelly to do it, you got to get that. She got that vibe voice. You get Aaron Hall. You need Aaron Hall like I Miss You. Keith Sweat, old school Keith Sweat.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go back to
you got to have that 80s sound.
All right. Back to the movie.
Tiana Taylor killed it.
But why my man had to pick up the mic and start freestyling?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Was it really that bad? Was it cringy? What's wrong with it?
I felt like that part was somewhat of a waste of time, but I the him rapping part, that was it. So and that was like a minute of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean
you ain't getting to know somebody through karaoke.
Yeah, there we go.
Man,
you know, it'd be a good idea. How about she comes in singing and you pick up the microphone and start freestyling? To me, that's like,
no. She said his mom said you know this song already. So it was a song that he already knew.
I get it. Maybe that's something, but why do we need that? I guess that he can,
I don't feel we needed it.
Maybe he can prove to Eddie that, like, you know,
that part wasn't that entertaining to me.
I was hurt, man. I'm sorry. I was hurt.
All
right. So now we see that he has to go through training before he could actually become Prince. And we also see that now this is where he meets Mariba for the first time. He has to get his hair cut. They turn him into Killmonger for a couple hours.
With the hairstyle.
Yeah, with the hairstyle. With the Killmonger and Prince Akeem, because he had the Prince's luck.
Yeah.
So we see that they're connecting. I saw where that was going right away. But he's doing the trials, and it was somewhat interesting watching him do the trials. And I like the conversation she ends up having with him later on about being himself and stop trying to be, and telling him like kind of like the legend of Prince Akeem, which was dope.
Although I wish they would have had more time to develop their like chemistry and relationship, but I did like their interaction. I just felt like they had their scenes were pivotal, but I felt like that was the rushes. The most rushed thing in the movie was their relationship.
Bruh, it was.
Even though that I liked it, I wished we would have got more time to focus on that aspect of the movie.
It felt boring to me, only because we didn't get a chance to see how these servants live. You just know that they're there and they're always happy. It might have been nice to see how a servant lived in this when Zamunda, especially after Eddie becoming king or before then. Like, how has the world changed?
Yeah.
How have they been impacted? And maybe, you know, Eddie's son can kind of look at it and say, hey, there's an opportunity to maybe make some change and be inspired to want to be king one day.
They did that, but they didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't
I
have
felt
enough
like they
meat
did that.
for
They
that.
didn't show
They
you,
didn't
though.
show enough.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to remember what we're dealing with here. This movie's 30 years late, and they're trying to add the fan service in there for all of the things that they did, as well as try to get everybody else involved. So even though they didn't show us, I feel like through him talking to her, the small conversations they had told you how they were living. Like, she was okay,
agreed.
but she wanted more. And I feel like that was easily understandable based off of what she said.
But that wasn't enough. Like, we got a chance to see Eddie like mopping
And not
floors
only that,
and things of that nature.
Not only that, Lisa had mentioned the fact that you had all of these great ideas when you were Prince, but since you've been, but you're down. You got to remember, it wasn't. He just became king. He still was a prince this whole time. His dad died at the beginning of the movie, so he couldn't have changed nothing.
But still, he could have had some influence.
Could he?
Because that's what he's basically told his daughter to do at the end of the movie. Like, we're about to start making changes with your help.
But his dad didn't want no help. His dad was different.
True that.
His
True
dad
that.
changed the rules so he can get married to Lisa, and he probably was like, that's it.
No.
He even mentioned it on his deathbed, like, you're not as ruthless as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that means like Prince Hakeem didn't make the impact that we thought he would be making, you know.
He didn't get a chance to. He was a prince.
At least tell us that. You know, like, maybe he's been just kind of, you know, maybe he needed a voice. Maybe he never
it
had
sounds
a
like
voice.
you need to go slap Kenya Barris.
You don't set us up for Coming to America 3. Like, I didn't lead
Coming
this.
to America.
I don't need it to be. But I don't, maybe like, I'm glad what they did with Creed, for example, where you got an opportunity to see a different side, Apollo Creed versus Rocky, right? You got an opportunity to see something extra, you know, something different that can kind of branch off into something else. Whereas this one, they're just trying to tie everything back, you know, or they're rushing the story to tie everything back.
It was a lot of fan service they had to pay off.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
They had to have Randy Watson in the movie. They had to have
Did they?
the barbers from Mighty Sharp in the movie.
Did they have to have the freestyling girls?
Yes.
My name
they
is
had to have
Evan.
Peaches.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to have the twins.
They didn't need
Like,
to
it
have
was
Randy.
it was fan service, bro. They had to have Randy
They
Watson.
didn't. No, they
I was
didn't.
happy to see Randy Watson.
No.
They had to have the three
I ain't got
barbers.
no sexual chocolate in me.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
No Soul Glow. Like, we can't have new versions of these.
Now, no, they couldn't have done so. First of all, Jerry curls ain't even popular.
But what's popular out in Africa though?
That's
you know?
the thing. Like, I'm on the same.
They tried to get everybody back. The sister didn't want to come back, and I'm assuming he didn't want to come back either. They opened it up for everybody. So something must have happened, and they didn't want to come back. They probably had a Soul Glow part written in. They played it. They definitely played it at a point.
They missed out an opportunity because Prince Hakeem got a chance to go to America and see how different that world is. But we didn't get the opportunity to see his son see how different their world is. And they could have had their own versions of the same things, not just a callback to something that worked 30 years ago.
I mean, they kind of did though.
No,
I mean,
but that wasn't the focus though. I don't feel like the movie, because that's the idea of him coming to Zamunda was really interesting to me, and I wish more time was spent on that. But like he was saying, they had to tie up so many fan service elements.
And
so
you got to remember, Eddie Murphy is still the star of this damn movie. So he's not about to not have screen time.
But I thought they tried to reflect, on that by saying Hakeem has lost why he fell in love in the same place, and they tried to spin that same idea of the first movie into this one. But I didn't like how they rushed it. Like, hey, let's go back to America
again.
That's the part that I was just like, that wasn't needed. Let's go back to America and get married.
Yeah.
And if they would have did that, I wish we could have got some scenes of her getting adjusted to what America is like.
Yeah,
but
that
it hadn't
would have
even been a
interesting.
day or two before.
I know, but that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think you guys are taking some of these things into consideration.
Look, I fell in love with a girl in the skating ring. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? She was cool. She could skate really good. But I'm not leaving to go to Africa or America the next day just because of something that happened, a fling, right? Like, we didn't get the opportunity to see her family dynamic and what her family say about her going to America to with the uncle and all this other stuff. To me, that didn't make any sense, going back to America to get married.
You got beef with Kenya Barris.
Oh my gosh.
I think they shouldn't have went back. Like, that was just like kind of forcing we got to tie America back into this somehow,
I didn't feel like that. I just felt like how any guy would feel if their parents kind of did something like that. I want to go home. I felt that was pretty simple to explain. He just asked her to come with him.
It's not that it's not hard to explain, but it was just like, was it needed for the film in that aspect?
I mean, was it needed? Was any of this needed? No. This was a fan service movie. Yeah, I feel like you guys want too much out of this thing.
No, I don't. But I'm just acknowledging where his issues are. I enjoyed the movie wholeheartedly. I really did.
I wanted more from this. One of the greatest movies. Coming to America is one of the greatest comedies, right? Or maybe of all time for a lot of people. It's in the top 5 of a lot of people, right? You had 30 years to come out with something.
They didn't work on this movie for 30 years.
I'm just saying.
They worked on it for like 6 months as far as the writing came together.
But I get what he's saying. The seeds had been planted, it had to been talked about. There had to been, conversations. And I get what you're saying.
When you pick the lackluster plot point to tie it all together that Kenya Barris did, you end up with the movie that we got. So, I mean, I find it hard to go in too many different directions when you're tying it that he slept with this girl on a night when we know it wasn't possible. Unless everything happened in like a quickie and he wasn't high anymore when they ran into to the dude at the barbershop on the street.
Which couldn't happen. He had to cheat, but that in order to do that, you have to make the story a little bit more darker to kind of reflect of the culture we are in right now. Writing back then was a little bit different to where it is now. You would have to bring some of those elements. So yeah, he probably had to cheat. It probably would have been a little bit more of a darker tone, and I think he was probably trying to figure how do you make the old fans happy, as well as bring in some new fans. I don't know if it hit the mark. I just remember watching that movie, falling asleep towards the end, like. It is still playing, isn't it? I cannot believe this is still.
It was not that bad, man.
Look, so let's continue, man. So, he gets to the trials. He kind of gets the respect of his sister, right? Which I thought was actually really cool. They actually worked together to come up with a plan to get the whiskers from the tiger. I do wish they would have showed how Eddie ended up getting it, since they insinuated that he didn't get it the first time. But that's besides the point. I thought it was funny when they went for the whole, not castration, but circumcision joke. Thought that was pretty funny, especially when they hold up the big ring.
And he just looked to the side.
And he just looked around.
He looked to the side. That was pretty funny. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. And then, we see the party. And just to see Tiana Taylor, who's basically the niece of the lady that Eddie tried to marry, she's still caught in this damn bark like a dog crap. And now Tiana Taylor is on the same thing, like whatever it is you like. And I was just like, damn. I do wish they would have picked a different angle for that. But Tiana Taylor, I like what she did for the amount of time that they gave her. They're at the party. He hears Wesley Snipes and his dad. I don't know what Wesley Snipes General Izzy. They hear him kind of chatting, and he overhears that he flies back to America because he's upset.
Yeah, they steal the private jet or a private plane.
The royal jet.
The royal jet.
He didn't steal it. He's royalty.
Okay.
They go back to America, and he wants to get married in America, start from scratch, help her create a business, doing with a barbershop and everything like that. And just to see him go back and talk to McDowell, because I do like John Amos being in this movie. He's great, man. If you watch Good Times or anything like that, John Amos is great. How much money did McDonald's give them for this movie? McDonald's and Pepsi.
It was so funny, man.
Because they kept mentioning McDonald's, and I thought it was funny. No, they mentioned McDonald's a bunch.
Well, yeah, getting sued by McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's is suing me.
Yeah.
We put our toppings on the bottom.
Yeah.
I was just like, why would you do that though?
Why he's making a McFlurry or a McDowell?
So he gets him to get married, and then we see Arsenio Hall acting the fool as the Reverend again.
Them socks, man.
Yeah, in the black socks, and you just see him flapping the thing around. I thought that was funny. Eddie convinces them, or sits down. We hear the whole conversation that he had with his dad. They come back to America, and then they have the wedding here. And I thought that was
come back to Zamunda.
Come back to Zamunda. I said here. They come back to Zamunda. And they have the wedding there, and then he tells his daughter that she's going to be the one that's ruined, which I thought was a great moment for the movie. And then we kind of get into a couple more. We get, Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolate doing a performance, which I enjoyed. And I enjoyed the movie. Oh. I see the reviews, and I don't know what everybody is so peeved about. I thought the movie was enjoyable. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
When you watch Superbad, it makes no fucking sense. But it still was entertaining.
So when they beat up Wesley Snipes' character with stabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was funny.
What's wrong with that?
So was it funny? I don't know.
Was it needed?
Funny?
Yes, it was, because it's a show that that she can be an imposing and powerful ruler.
I didn't
She's
think
been
that was
training
funny,
the whole
I didn't think it was
movie.
supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
It just felt like I didn't know if that was needed. I guess that was a moment for everybody to come together, but it was
the moment to show that women can be powerful as well.
The only thing that was supposed
like
to be
that.
funny was Arsenio Hall giving us the line.
Yeah.
It was.
What was wrong with that part? Because they foreshadowed that at the beginning of the movie. You see her practicing throughout the whole movie and everything like that. So that was her moment to show that she can hold it down.
I feel like they missed an opportunity. They missed an opportunity because I felt like Wesley Snipes' character should have had more. Maybe they could have just flipped it and said that maybe Zamunda is pretty much losing his. I guess the king is losing his grip. Maybe he's kind of sliding down, and we got this new guy who's pretty much killing it. Like it shouldn't be that easy for him to go to war if the whole premise was based around them going to war.
Well, he was trying to assassinate Prince Hakeem because he thought the girl ruler would be too weak. But now that he sees that she's established, I whoop your ass, he has a change of heart. Because we didn't see no negotiation, but due to the fact that he had a conversation with Eddie, it made it sound like there was a negotiation for him to help the people in his
I think
community.
she made the negotiation.
Whoever did it.
Yeah, because
I'm just saying the conversation with Eddie let us know that there was some negotiation that had been had, and that his people were taken care of, so he didn't have a beef anymore.
Yeah.
I get it. They did a good job for tying everything in. I think they pretty much used every joke that was used in the original Coming to America.
Pretty much.
So they get an A for the effort. But as far as creating something that people are excited about, they dropped the ball. And to be Eddie Murphy at that high of a caliber, and you will hope that maybe he brings in a young comedian or somebody to mentor, kind of like what we're seeing with the Will Smith project, right? I'm glad those guys are assisting another person who has a great idea and doing something amazing. I'm excited for that project. But this one was a missed opportunity. I would love to leave this project saying, yo, we need that Coming to America again,
I would have never walked away saying that.
Maybe, but I didn't think I'll feel
But
that
the
way.
potential is there, though. I get what he's saying. If they would have sowed the seeds to actually do like maybe possibly another movie, they could have. If they would have took the time to make, the plot like a little bit more dense and everything like that. I still enjoyed it as well, but I do get what he's saying. There was a lot of potential to actually make this possibly into like another franchise.
If
or
you
anything
wanted
like
that.
What?
I keep saying if you wanted that, but I'm just saying.
I never asked for Coming to America 2.
But what Bang Bang is saying is you could have set a foundation for something else.
It would have been nice.
And the reason why I say that is because you don't want to run something good into the ground. Coming to America.
You don't gotta run it to the ground, but you can actually leave those seeds there just in case somebody wants to pick it up.
Or inspired. Let's say Africa. We want to learn more about Africa, right? Why couldn't there been more scenes about? Why couldn't I be excited to maybe even take a trip?
You can watch National Geographic if you want to see that.
I get that, but they got paid a lot of money to give us what they gave us, and I think it felt more of something like, here you go, versus let's create something.
We talking about Kenya Bears, man.
But we're talking about, but what he's talking about is Coming to America. I get it. He's talking about the essence of the first film and how that was treated in regards to this one. while this one I did feel was good, I kind of understand where he's coming from. It's just a whole bunch of missed opportunities to make a story that's more gratifying and satisfying as the first one was. I kind of understand what he's saying, because it's just like, oh, we want to give y'all a sequel, fan service, jokes from the first one, here you go. But they could have took it as, well, we want to give you that stuff, but actually show you another culture this time, another way of life. So we're going to be going into Zamunda. So I can kind of feel what he's saying. He's not trying to say this is just what, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah. I mean, the same energy that you came into the first one with, you should have came into the second one with. It's just that simple. And if you don't feel like you can do it, bring some people in. Shadow, help them out.
They did bring people in. Kenya Barris is who they brought in.
And I
they
heard
had
they brought
the script wrote before that, and then Eddie said they didn't think it was funny, so they brought Kenya Barris in, and he's the one that changed the things that they felt, which made the movie funny.
Well, I still think the movie was funny. I enjoyed it, despite, the simple callbacks and, rehashed jokes and everything like that. I still thought, it was an enjoyable movie because it just brought a smile to my face seeing all these returning actors, the ones that, we seen from the first film and how they are now. I love the little tidbits of how, they continue the story. And I thought it was a decent offering, for a sequel. I wasn't angry at it. I see the missed potential, it could have had. But for the most part, I still enjoyed the film. I thought it was a good time. It kept me entertaining from beginning to end. And I thought they did a good job at, giving us something that, we can enjoy for the moment right now, because it was just great seeing all these actors and everything. And I felt like they enjoyed it as well. At the same time, I felt like this was an enjoyable experience to be back with these people after 30 years and everything like that, and kind of bring to life something again that 30 years ago brought so many joy to people's eyes and everything like that. So I thought for that respect, the film excelled in that, because it just took you back. Probably it took a lot of people back for more than one reason,
Absolutely.
And everything like that. So I thought they accomplished that, and that's why I really had a good time watching it.
Well, for me, this feels like a class reunion. Everybody's coming back after 30 years, and they find a way just to celebrate that. If this is a celebration, perfect. You know what I'm saying? We can see some of the old people and kind of relive some old memories. But as far as making an impact, I don't see myself going to this again to watch it, nor recommending anybody to watch it. I'm telling them to watch the first one, right? Because the second one is just a class reunion of just rehashing, not even as funny. Just reminding you, remember when we said this? Nothing new, nothing that I have to go back, nothing I can't find in the last movie, right? So if this is just a celebration to say, hey, we all came back, we did it, y'all, perfect. But as far as making an impact, I don't know if they did that.
Yeah, man. So,
what you
graded?
No final thoughts from you?
I mean, look, man. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the cast of characters. I don't feel like anybody got enough screen time. In pure honesty, I'm pretty sure if we had a timer on how long everybody was on the screen, I feel like it was damn near pretty even between a lot of characters. Yeah. So it didn't feel like anybody got enough screen time. I'm like, man, I wanted to see Eddie Murphy's older daughter more. I wanted to see General Izzy more. I wanted to see Eddie Murphy's son more. I wanted to see Mariba more. I wanted to see Tiana Taylor's character more. I wanted to see, definitely Rotimi. He ain't get no screen time. But
moved his hair.
Especially Michael Blackson as well. Yeah. But aside from them, like the Tracy Morgan, Arsenio Hall, Eddie Murphy, Lisa McDowell, Leslie Jones, I felt like most of them shared around the same amount of screen time, got the same amount of lines. If anything, if you count Eddie and Arsenio Hall being the other characters, you can argue they have more screen time than anybody. Other than that, it was pretty easy, pretty even across the board. I get the whole class reunion thing. I could agree with that to some extent, but at the same time, I was smiling the whole time. I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
Is it the greatest movie ever? No. It was never ever even going to potentially be better than the first one. I mean, it wasn't even a shot.
They kind of bid on it in the movie themselves when they were talking about sequels.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I kind of laughed at.
You got to
too.
remember, like, there's only like 4 movies in the history of movies that have a better sequel than the original.
Yeah.
Like, period. It doesn't happen.
Not a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. So, especially when it comes to comedies, it definitely doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I felt like Ice Cube may have pulled it off. He got lucky with next Friday compared to Friday. That's just me personally. I think Mike Epps was funnier. But aside from that, there's not many movies where you could say this is a sequel and this is better.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys 2. But it's different.
I'm glad
it wasn't a comedy. It's an action movie.
But they did it right, and they passed the torch.
It was more explosives.
Okay.
They passed the torch to who?
I mean, I'm excited for the new characters they introduced. The new
you're talking about the new Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, it was not better than the first 2.
It was up.
Somebody's smoking some ganja.
It was up there. I would say it's passable. I think it got the job done. I think it got the job done.
I feel it.
It was a good movie, but I don't care if they come out with a sequel or not. I don't want to see. I'm tired.
I will watch.
I'm over Mike Larry. Okay, I don't appreciate. Hold on, we talking about this. Don't get me on a tangent on that. I feel like they set up some cool people. I do want to see Namzamo in some more movies. I want to see I can't find the guy that played his son. I want to see him in some more movies.
Lavelle Johnson.
Yeah, Lavelle Johnson. I want to see him in some more movies. So I can't. I want to see Tiana Taylor act more. I want to see Rotimi in some more bigger projects.
Yeah.
I want to see Michael Blackson actually get some more roles because he's actually really funny, guys.
Yeah.
Just go to his Instagram.
Yeah.
Or his Twitter.
His podcast. He got a podcast now.
Oh, he do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I want to see Wesley Snipes do more comedy roles.
Yes.
That's one thing I definitely want to see. But overall, man, I enjoyed the movie. If I was going to grade it on a 1 through 10, I'm going to give it a 7. I'd recommend it to people, but I would let you know, hey, it's a sequel. And you know what that means. When I tell you it's a sequel, you should already know what that means.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 as well. I thought it was good,
Give it a 3. I'm sorry, man. I cannot go. I struggle to finish it, so I gotta go for a 3.
Okay.
But I was hurting because I was such a fan of the first one, so that might be just me.
I mean, that's my favorite movie of all time. So.
Same here.
1080p, what you give it? Like a 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in the comments down below, man, write what you guys thought. I've been seeing the comments. I know a lot of people don't like the movie.
Yeah.
Straight up. I mean, well, when I was done, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, what was?
I mean, people were just like, yo, this ain't funny at all. And I'm just like, yo, there's some funny stuff in this movie. It'll make me smile, man. So
yeah, they were at the other side of the couch dying laughing.
Yeah,
there are some pockets.
We had a good time, man.
And I don't even think Tracy Morgan is funny, and he has some funny parts. He's not funny to me.
Oh, okay.
At all. I never thought Tracy Morgan was ever funny.
Oh, okay.
Not on Martin, not on nothing.
I thought it was funny.
But his scenes with Arsenio Hall, though, especially when they were choking each other. Yo, that Trevor Noah pop up was hilarious.
That was great. That was great. I love
them eyebrows.
Yeah.
Giant mustache.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that popped up in the movie, and hopefully, and people. By the way, people have been casting Namzamo as Storm. They want Marvel to cast her as Storm.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she's from Africa.
Okay.
She has an accent, but she has a lot more body than Storm, so I can see some fans that aren't African American being upset.
Oh,
Okay.
Storm ain't never had no booty.
Yeah, you're right.
Some people would be upset.
We're in a new day.
Most black women got booty. I mean,
We're in a new
it's kind of
day.
hard to find. You got to go looking for one
search.
without booties.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, man. Let us know how you guys felt about this down in the comments and below. On Monday, we'll probably be reviewing that. If Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars don't get pushed back.
Oh, so it's supposed to drop Friday?
I thought so. Is it not? I didn't finish the whole Breakfast Club interview. Either way, we'll look at music that's coming out. Hopefully something does drop. And see y'all next week, man. Peace.